After a hard shift on the ward, the matron in charge of the Derby house likes to get behind the wheel on the House of Horrors PC. Most homes in Britain now have at least one computer, which means there's a new breed of cowboy in town. Our PC was actually built from scratch by Al Bickham, technical editor of PC Format magazine. He's given us an all-singing, all-dancing machine, but crucially, he's loosened the graphics card, so we get no picture on the monitor. But it's incredibly simple to fix. Once the card is pushed back into place, it'll all work fine.
No, it's the first house.
Nurse Jenny is calling in Mike Quigley, who's been complained about by computer owners all round the Midlands.
OK.
OK, thanks.
I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye, bye.
Al and I take up front row seats in our secret HQ to watch Quigley in action. Here he comes. Nice car.
Yeah, business must be good.
So good that more than a dozen customers we've heard have had their computers taken away and not returned, or were unhappy with the state he left them in. Jenny's wearing a small camera in her jumper so we can get a close-up of his face.
Hi, Mick.
Yeah, how you doing?
Cheers. You all right?
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out.
No problem.
Right, through here. Right, this is the computer.
Right.
It seems to start up, you can hear it running, and that's it, no picture.
But it's not firing up at all, is it? It's not sending a signal to the monitor.
So, just to be sure, you have built this computer from scratch, so you know everything that's in it.
When we put it together, all the parts are in perfect working order, and the fault we engineered is very simple to fix. But as soon as he gets the side off, he should spot it.
He is guilty of one thing, though. Dagenham cleavage.
And there's no excuse for that.
Yeah.
By now, he should have popped the card back in and said, you had absolutely no problem with that. I'm going to charge you for an hour's work.
It's a hell of a PC. It's quite a high specification.
I think he spotted that there's some performance parts in the machine.
You pimped it up.
We did, we pimped it up, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I was just upstairs.
It's all right, no problem. It's booting now, but it's not going past the BIOS, which basically means it's still having problems with the graphics.
Right.
I've narrowed it down to two things, well, possibly three. Either the motherboard, the graphics card, or one of the sticks of RAM.
Right.
It's faulty.
You couldn't have missed it. It was so obvious.
Right, so why is he saying it could be one of three things?
I think he has ulterior motives.
What I'd need to do, really, would be to borrow the machine and get back to you tomorrow, let you know, once I've run the diagnostics on it, what's faulty and how much it's going to be. Because at the moment, I'm absolutely stuck.
He sounds really convincing, doesn't he?
If you want it doing for Wednesday, I'll need to know an answer by sort of 5 o'clock so I can call the suppliers and get the parts in for Wednesday morning. OK.
He's clearly got something in mind about replacing some parts. Now, when we put this computer together, all those parts were in full working order.
Nothing needs replacing.
Absolutely nothing.
So if it's too much, just tell me and I'll bring it back.
Yeah, that's very reasonable. Yeah.
Well, to be honest, that's how I operate, and as long as you give people a decent price.
I'm getting a bad feeling about the way he operates.
All right then, Mike. Thanks for coming.
There goes our PC in the back of his fancy car.
The next morning, Nurse Jenny is on duty again.
Hello.
Hello there, it's Mike about your computer.
Oh, hi, I was just about to call you.
It's Mike Quigley with a diagnosis.
What exactly is wrong with it then now?
The graphics card on the machine has absolutely gone. I don't know quite how you've done it or whether you've had any storms recently, but something's absolutely fried it.
What?
That's absolute rubbish. There's nothing wrong with that graphics card.
So that's just a 24-carat lie?
It's a huge whopper.
There's one stick of RAM that's gone as well.
What do you mean it's gone? How's it gone?
It literally just doesn't work. It doesn't fire up. It doesn't do anything. So I would suggest that's gone at the same time.
RAM?
Well, RAM's the memory, which is a very important part of the computer, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
So how much is it?
So your total cost is £328.
To charge 328 quid when there's no real fault there, it's just criminal.
What kind of time
I mean, it's an
tomorrow?
incredibly lucrative industry for him because, you know, if he's getting 300-400 quid every time...
Well, he is driving a very nice car.
That's true. Coming up, Mike's back with our computer and we get a lot less than we bargained for.
He's nicked half the memory.
Well, that's outrageous.
Very.
And I finally get to meet him. You ripped us off, OK? You ripped off 16 other people. It looks worse if you don't say something. Just explain yourself, Mr. Green. Thank you very much. At House of Horrors, we've a problem with our computer. Actually, all it needs is for a loose graphics card to be pushed back in. But repairman Mike Quigley says it'll cost £328 to fix. Al, the computer expert, and I are safely holed up in our secret command room, and Jenny is on the front line.
Toby, he's here. Quick.
Get a move on, come on. Get the camera on, he's here.
Is he at the door now? Ooh.
I think she's a bit nervous because, you know, he's going to rip her off.
Oh, shit. God, my heart's racing now, man.
Don't be nervous. Just be normal. He doesn't suspect anything. It's fine. He's there now.
Oh, just upstairs. Sorted. How are you today? OK?
Not too bad, thank you.
Good.
Just rushed off
You've been busy?
Do you know, I've not stopped for the last couple of weeks at all. Right, upon further investigation, and don't panic, it's not going to cost you anything, I found that the power supply was what had caused the fault.
Right.
Okay, so what I've done for you is I've swapped it for a new one, so that your new stuff doesn't get damaged. I've not charged you for it though.
OK then.
Because
All
I
right.
didn't
Well,
mention it to you on the phone.
Is that true?
That's a load of rubbish.
There's a fault with the power supply.
That was another brand new part.
How long have you been doing computers? You look quite young to be.
1997 I started.
It does strike me, you know, that this is a huge growth area, isn't it, for unscrupulous traders? Because
Absolutely.
nobody knows what goes on in their computers, and anyone can come to you and say, well, you know, there's a problem with your memory, love.
Right, I'll just go and grab your cash.
There you go, look.
328, won't it?
Yes,
Oh,
it will,
excellent.
thank you.
It's so easy, you know, a bit of chat, and, you know, he's got 300 quid in his pocket. I mean, which is pretty much pure profit.
All right.
Yeah, get on the internet now. Thanks
you,
a
then.
lot.
Bye.
Right, we really need to take a look, don't we?
Yeah, let's check out his handiwork.
Right, so what's he done? Because all he had to do was to push the graphics card back in.
That's right, and that's this bit here. What he's actually done is he's taken that graphics card that was in there, which was a perfectly good working graphics card, taken it out and replaced it with an inferior model.
So he's nicked the original?
Yep.
What a rotter.
Absolutely. It goes on as well. This power supply here, he's done exactly the same. There was a perfectly good working one in there, and he's replaced it with a cheaper one.
Right, so he's nicked the graphics card and the power supply.
And possibly the worst bit about it is that he's nicked half the memory. There's a big gap there where the other half of the memory used to be. He's just nicked them.
Well, that's outrageous.
Very.
All this stuff that he's nicked, what effect is it going to have on it?
Well, he's downgraded the performance of the computer. It's got literally half the memory, and the graphics card is not as good a graphics card as the one that was originally in there. So it won't play games nearly as well as the old graphics card. You just won't be able to do as much with it.
So how much is the stuff that he's nicked worth?
I'd estimate about 200 quid.
Right, so he's charged us 328 quid to nick 200 quid's worth of stuff.
That's exactly what he's done.
So we need to speak to this guy.
I think so.
Not as easy as you might think, though, because he gave us a false address. So we've set up another location on his patch. Welcome to the new temporary House of Horrors in Derby City Centre. With a locum undercover nurse. Say hi to Samantha. And the exact same computer. I wonder if he'll recognise it.